Well, I think we have to remember, Tom, that of course a lot of Chinese people have been affected by COVID-19, not only in Hubei province, but throughout China. And of course, many people died there. So I would imagine that the Chinese Communist Party government would want to act in the interests of their own citizens and would want to have a comprehensive inquiry into the start of this pandemic. I think, we can all learn, and I think we are all in the same boat here, wanting to ensure that there is not another pandemic, or that if the virus mutates in such a way that obviously that people could be affected again. So I think it does suit the Chinese government. I noticed it's a unanimous, we had unanimous support at the World Health Assembly. I think that's a very mature reaction from the Chinese government. So let's hope that they are transparent. Let's hope that they do that they do furnish the inquiry with all of the help that they are able to.
So when you say you've got that, it's in their best interest, I think everyone would agree, but what's the lesson we learn from history from the Chinese Communist Party? I mean, there are reports of whistleblowers being shut down, information being shut down. Are we really expecting them to tell the world about what they covered up?
I think the treatment of the doctors who initially noticed the severe pneumonia symptoms, I think the treatment of those doctors is something that just is totally foreign to us. We have a very different system where if that was noticed, obviously, we have systems in place where that information is shared. It becomes a transparent process. I think authoritarian regimes obviously have difficulty in being transparent because, in fact, they often want to preserve themselves. And I think, we would hope that China and the Chinese government, that they do cooperate.
Okay.
And let's hope they do. Because we are all going to benefit from that, including their own citizens.
Yes,
and of course, we've seen the funerary
I think everyone is hoping that.
Tom. We've seen, we saw the drone footage of the funerary urns in Wuhan, and we know that there seem to have been a lot of those funerary urns, certainly more than would be indicative from the official figures given by the CCP.
Now, with these looming further threats from China, reports that perhaps wine and dairy could be in their sights as well, would it help if the Australian government came out and sort of gave a bit of a positive news conference on China right now to try to alleviate some of these concerns, or would that be seen as kowtowing?
I think that, Tom, that when countries trade, they are not doing it because of they're doing any favours to anyone. And I think we can see that in the agreement the Victorian government had reached under the Belt and Road Initiative, the memorandum of understanding they reached. They certainly no favours have been done to Victoria. Countries trade because they need things. So I don't think that China obviously needs some of our produce, some of our our mining sector is very important to their economy. And remember, they are under a great deal of pressure as well because their economy has also contracted. And so they are going to need to sort of kickstart their economy as well. And they're not going to be able to do that without some of the produce and some of the goods that we provide to them. So I think that we should be very conscious of that. And I think we should, we believe in a trading system where there's a level playing field, that people treat each other well. And I think that that's what the majority of countries believe, and that's how they trade. And that's why we sign up to the WTO and its principles.
And just finally, some interesting comments from Tim Pallas, the Victorian Treasurer down there, talking about the Chinese government tariffs. He says they are a consequence of the federal government's conduct, and they don't surprise him. He spoke about language that vilifies China. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I did comment in 9 newspapers yesterday evening, and I think that Tim is a AAA rated treasurer, but I think that constitutionally it's the Commonwealth of Australia that has the power to, under Section 51, to make laws and to engage in foreign affairs and trade. I think it should remain like that. My belief is the Victorian government shouldn't have entered an MOU or any agreement with the Chinese Communist Party on the Belt and Road Initiative. And I think if people are going to start playing the blame game, we should blame the wrongdoer, not the victim here.